Hi all you succulent and caudiciform lovers. Welcome back to my collection. Today I have something extraordinary to share with you. It's one of my favorite specimens, and this is it right here. Are you ready? You want to see this? Check that out. This is a Mestoklema Tuberosum, and I was lucky enough to acquire this just recently from my buddy Oscar down at GT Nursery. Thank you, Oscar. Shout out to you, man. So today I am going to remove this magnificent Mestoklema from its pot and put it in one of my pots and get it staged. Here we go. We're going to get started. 2 days ago, I watered this specimen thoroughly so it would be in its best and healthiest condition for removal because I want to minimize shock. So here we go. We're going to take this beautiful specimen out, which I have not seen since I got it. So here we're going to go around with my flat metal ruler to break it loose if there's any roots attached to it, which I'm sure there are. So we're going to do that. There we go. Then we're going to take the trusty rubber mallet. Give that a few shots. Little love tap for good luck.
Wow, those flowers look nice right there. You can see them really nice
gorgeous?
at the top.
The orange color flower.
Yeah.
And let's slide this puppy out of here. And
Ooh,
there
got me.
she is. Wow. Okay, let me put this down here. And let's take a look and see what we have. You know what? Whoa, look at this. Let's take a little more of that off. We can raise it up just a little bit. There we go. Let's clean it up a little bit. Show a little more of the caudex, which is the whole idea. And I think that looks pretty good. What do you think? What do you think, Janelle? Looks good?
Yeah, that looks nice. Now, are you gonna water it off with the hose?
No.
Or water it down?
No. Other instances, if this was up to here, I would take a hose and hit it not too hard to break all this loose, but this is a pretty big caudex already, so I'm ready to put this in there and maybe in a couple years take it out and then do that. But
so what's the main reason you don't want to water it then? Is just you don't want to loosen the roots too much?
Yeah, I want to keep this more intact.
Okay, so you want it to grow bigger.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
So if I put this in a pot now, the caudex will continue to elongate and get thicker and grow deeper. So then in a year or two, I can take it out and expose more of it. But let's put this in a nice pot now. So how do you stage this? This is the big question. Well, you know, staging is a very personal thing, but you always got to look for options. So I have a couple of my pots ready right here. And then here's another one that I think you might just like.
Okay.
What do you think
Ooh,
of that?
that one looks nice.
You know what?
That's an Erica pot.
This is one of my very special Erica pots. And I think this is going to be the winner here.
I like that one.
I do too.
You have enough room for staging?
Yep, you're perfect. Okay, so we've selected the pot. It has good drainage holes.
Yeah. How old is that pot?
This pot is probably 20 years old. It's an old pot.
Really? The Erica doesn't have the dates on them?
No, on some she does, but this one she doesn't. Okay, so we're going to put some screen in here.
So how many times do you think you've repotted that pot?
Use this pot? Oh, probably.
Yeah,
probably 4 or 5 times maybe. I've used it quite a bit. This is one of my favorite. I just love this pot.
That's nice.
Okay, so I've got my screen in here. Now the next thing we do, and the most important thing, is you want a good scoop of pumice. Why? Because this doesn't hold the water. It distributes it and helps with drainage. So you want to put a good layer down there. And then I have some pre-mixed cactus and succulent soil and about 60% pumice, so you can see how much pumice is in there. So now we're going to put a layer of this in here. Let's do that real quick. It's because these require very fast draining soil. These come from a very arid region of Madagascar and parts of South Africa where it's very dry. These like to be watered and then kept dry for about a week. So let's see if that's going to work.
So do you know why the roots are so dark as compared to other
The
caudiciforms?
tubers on this?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good question, Janelle, because I don't know if anybody has the answer to that.
No?
It's just a very interesting characteristic of this particular species.
Okay, so it's not how it absorbs anything specific.
No,
No
would
one
think,
knows.
But, you know, why is the sky blue? So
Yeah.
there's a reason. Oh, look
Okay,
at
well,
that.
if anyone knows the answer, let us know.
Why the Mestoklema,
'Cause that's
its
interesting. to me.
primary characteristic is that color. Okay, so I'm going to consider that the face, but we need to do some cleanup here because this is not how this should look. So don't be afraid to take these off, which are covering part of this beautiful caudex, because we don't want any growth on the caudex at all. Why? Because the beauty of this is the caudex and the color. So we want to take all those off. And that is now situated. But let's go to the next phase. Topping.
Wow, it almost matches the
Doesn't it?
color.
Isn't that awesome? Look at that. I love it. It just blends so nicely. Okay, so let's talk about staging this now with some rocks to see if it's applicable. So I selected a few that I think might work. So maybe I'd put one back here. Maybe I'd put this one over here. Put this one here maybe. And maybe one flat one here. And let me make a comment about rocks. That's an interesting rock. And to me, when you're staging with rocks, they should be interesting. They should never be a polished stone or some smooth kind of rock, because that doesn't add much to it. So that's how I would stage this. But when I look at it now, I think, yeah, that looks okay. But let me just take these off. And sometimes I may change multiple rocks. And I say, to me, that is absolutely perfect. Adding rocks to this would distract from the main highlight and showcase of the Caudiciform. So to me, that is staged, and this would be ready for shot. Okay, so remember, water it before, wait a week, and then water it. Assimilate it slowly into the sun, so you don't want to burn any newly exposed caudex.
Okay, I have a question that I'm noticing right
What's
here.
that?
How come there's this hole, or it looks like some hole in the roots right there? Is there a reason why that kind of forms that way?
Are you telling me I have a holy specimen here? What? Oh yeah, you're right. Look at that. There's a hole here. It's not actually a hole, it's an opening. That's just the way the tuber's roots have branched. But when you see that, I think that is a very cool look to be able to see through it. I love that. And I'll probably spend more time cleaning it out in the center there so it's more obvious. But good pickup, Janelle. That looks really cool. Hope you guys love the Mestoklema as much as I do and love how it's staged. And so now you can go and do the same thing and have a good time. So until the next video, giddy up everybody, giddy up everybody.
That looks nice.
Let me try turning this.
Look at the difference. They're both beautiful.